allow their nafs, they allow themselves to chase after their carnal desires. Hawa, the desires, worldly desires. That's the first quality. But then there's the second quality. وَتَمَنَّى عَلَى اللَّهِ. And they have hope on Allah. Now, many of you may be wondering, wait, what's wrong with having hope in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Why shouldn't I be hopeful of Allah? How is that a bad quality? Well, we have to put it into context. Having hope in Allah, وَتَمَنَّى عَلَى اللَّهِ, to have hope in Allah, to have hope of Allah, is 100% good. Rather, it's something encouraged. But what is frowned upon in the Sharia, in Islam, is a person does the complete opposite and then expects to have hope in Allah. There's a very big difference. One is to make the effort and then have hope. If a person has a drinking problem, or if a person has a lying problem, or if a person has an eating problem of haram, there's two ways a person can do this. One is the person does not have a drop of remorse in his heart, and he just continues eating and he says, you know what, Allah's going to forgive me. You know, Allah's ghafoor, it doesn't matter, I'm going to do what I want to do. That's one attitude. The other attitude, the person drinks alcohol. And he says, listen, this is something wrong. I feel bad about it. But what can I do? I have this addiction. I'm addicted to it. But ya Allah, I know I'm wrong. I'm hopeful that you'll forgive me, understanding that I'm wrong. Both of them are doing the exact same thing. But the difference between the two is their attitude towards the sin. The first person is unmindful, heedless. That, you know what? I have a bad habit of lying. I have a bad habit of backbiting. I have a bad habit of doing these things. I really don't care, because I know Allah is going to forgive me. Think of that. That's a very brazen, bold, audacious attitude where the person is careless. The second person, he's humble. Listen, I know I have a problem of consuming alcohol and I feel bad about it, but it's my addiction, what can I do? So when Allah is saying having tamanni, having this hope is wrong, it's when you have the hope, وَأَتْبَعَ نَفْسَهُ هَوَى, you let your nafs roam however it wants. But having mere hope in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not only good, it is encouraged. It's needed, it's part of our deen, but we need to contextualize. So to conclude this hadith, we think about the two categories of people. The intelligent person and the person who is dim, the person who is incapable. And this reference has to do with the hereafter. And ultimately it boils down to the nafs, and that person who is able to see where his nafs is going, and before it's too late, he's able to rein it in and say, listen, I know I did this once, I did it twice, I watched it thrice, I heard it 4 times, I said it 6 times, and now he's seeing like, oh, it's becoming a habit. You know what, I've done it a week, I've done it, something's going wrong, I'm getting addicted to something that's wrong, something that's haram. You know what, let me put an end to it right now. As opposed to the person's like, man, it's been a month, it's been a year, I'm used to it, everybody else is doing it, it's common right now, that's what's a wrong attitude. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow us to control our weaknesses. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the ability to control our hearts and make it go towards those things which are good. Subhanallah wa bihamdih, subhanakallahumma wa bihamdik, ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk, jazakumullahu khairan, wa assalamu alaikum.